What's going on, everybody? Dead Moon here from the grave slash dead TV. And this evening, it's Sunday. I still have time off from work, and I figured it's been about a month and a half since I shot a video of any sorts regarding updates on the arcade room, arcade one up in general. That's been a while, and the old video game room around the corner here in the basement. So, like I said, it's been a while, so I figured now is the time to shoot a video. Since I had just received a couple new parts, as you can see right over there in the corner from Arcade 1-Up. And we'll touch on that in just a moment, but it's a little dark in the room. I turned the overhead lights off, and I have the laundry room lights on, so I figured I'd turn them off, that way you guys can see the machines and all that stuff. And we're going to talk about Arcade 1-Up, basically why I took a little hiatus from making videos, which wasn't that long, really. And just general thoughts and feelings on the company and what's going on, and the way that they're marketing their newer model machines. So anyways, we'll step in here and we'll just take a look. This is just a little roundabout. You guys can see I have not finished the arcade room. I've gotten a lot of my other collectibles out. These shelves were not up last time I shot a video. So I got all the shelving up that I wanted up for now. Stuff that I need to unbubble wrap still. 12 and 1 sits there. I have no modifications on the spinner or the dial yet. We'll go ahead and touch into the dial and the ball here while we're at it. Now, we're all pretty well aware that Arcade 1-Up has released a brand new ball and a brand new dial. And, I mean, okay, so we all know that that's a good thing, right? Okay, correct. But, if you think about it, I mean, you bought the machine, and these are my general feelings on what that really means. I'm 38 years old. I've been playing games my whole life for the most part, ever since I was probably 5. You know, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of business. I've seen a lot of bad business decisions. I've seen a lot of lies and trickery. And I mean, we are talking about a business here, right? And the bottom line here is for them to make money off of the least amount of, money that they spend on the product. Hence, we all know, and Arcade 1-Up knows, they gave you a crappy dial. They know they gave you a grainy ball that doesn't freely spin that well. They know that. They know what it's made out of. And in a sense, I knew what the machine was going to be made out of, but I did not know that dial and ball was going to be that way. I don't have a huge argument, I guess you can say, about those components. The dial is probably the weakest part of this machine. The ball's not so bad. I play Centipede just fine. It could be a lot better. And they have released newer versions, and there are newer versions you can get from, can't remember his name right now. Glenn's Retro Show, I believe it is. I believe he released a spinner and a ball that everybody loves, and I am going to upgrade to it, but I haven't put any money into it just yet. Taking care of other stuff, but guys, I think we all know they screwed the pooch on that one, and they screwed us over. There were many, many arguments. I mean, I have emails, I have saved videos of Arcade 1-Up defending the hell out of these components for like 6-7 months straight. Then out of nowhere, we got a new one, guys. We heard your feedback. Well, you heard it, but you didn't want to listen to it. And you kind of gave up and figured, well, we got to release that because they know we screwed them and we know it sucks, so we're going to make it better. That right there is pretty blatant to me that they tried to rip you off. And they did rip me off and several other people. Now I have to spend more money. They put a post on Instagram not long ago. Something about, have you checked out our new spinner? And they're literally going to send people who bought the machine within 3 months a new spinner for free. Because they know it sucks, but they're not going to send anybody who bought one at launch a new spinner for free. They literally told me in a message that I have to buy it. It's like, okay, I mean, I'm not going to buy yours. I'm going to buy the Glenn Retro Show spinner. I'm not going to buy yours, that's for sure. You're not getting any more of my money, at least not right now. And like I said, I don't hate the company. I really enjoy these machines, but that's really crappy, you know? I mean, it's an admission of guilt. You try to defend the spinner for so long, and then you come out with a new one and say, we heard your feedback. Well, you heard it, you didn't want to listen, you gave up, you made a new one, and you're telling day one adapters, well, give us more money if you want us to fix a problem we gave you on purpose. So enough about that machine. That's my feelings on the machine. I like the machine. That machine I do have an extra monitor and bezel for, because the original one I had was pretty washed out. They saw no problem replacing that. They sent me the overlay, and all is well other than those two components I need to replace. And as we go through these machines, you're going to see a bunch of figures and stuff. These are the stools I bought from Walmart. That was $10. It was supposed to be $20, but the lady she rang them up wrong, so I got a heck of a deal. I'm basically decking the room out. I'm kind of jumping subjects here, but I'm decking the room out in 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s old school stuff. So you'll see Street Fighter, and I think that's Kevin Sorbo up there from Hercules. I don't care what you say, I like that show. A bunch of figures, Darkstalkers, stuff like that. I need to unbubble wrap still. A Pac-Man light, that's not its permanent home, but it's just plugged in right now for the video. And that shelving was not there as well last time I shot a video. X-Men figures, I love those. Marvel in general. I got to unbox those and set them up. Some Blackest Night DC, stuff like that. Those totes are full of comic figures I got to get out. So we'll move on to the Rampage Midway's Classic cabinet here. And this was the very first one I bought. I bought this the day it came out. It was a year ago. I drove an hour and 20 minutes out of town after a really bad day of work. It was storming like hell, and my windshield wipers were broke. So that was really fun, but I don't know what it was. I just wanted to get the damn machine, and we didn't have any in town. I get a bug up my butt sometimes, and I decided I'm going. So it was about 2.5 hours after work and a really, really bad day. I just decided to get this. I put it together, and I fell in love with it. And it came with damages, of course. You can see up here. That was a day one fray up there, and you know, this was like my first introduction to Arcade 1-Up, and a lot of people had problems with them, you know, and I got the graphic was peeled down a little bit here, and these are pretty minor, but you know, it just kind of added up after a while. I had a little bit of scuffing on the paint here. They did send me a new artwork and overlay, and we'll get into that in just a second. I'm just going through the initial vision and thoughts of the damages I had on this cabinet. Other than that, it seemed pretty good. So my first thoughts was, you know, this is awesome. A little bit of here and there, and there wasn't a big stink or anything about damages on these cabinets yet. I was one of the very first adapters. I mean, I don't know about very first, but I bought it day one, and I put videos up for this machine. I think more than most people did, or one of the only people who did. And I discovered the gauntlet glitch, which, I mean, I'm sure other people had found it too, but I think I might have been the first person to put it up on YouTube. So that kind of garnered some attention there. Kind of got the channel up and running. A lot of people were exposed to it and were aware of the situation, and Arcade 1-Up became aware of the situation, which was good. But we all know in the end, here we go, it wasn't truly rectified, was it? I mean, they fixed a couple of the characters right with some of the sound and some of the game speed, but in return, they took the other two unpopular characters, the least popular two characters, and they sent those problems right over to them. The audio wasn't fixed. You can get past stage 41, I believe it was. That's when the game just totally crashed and glitched out. The game speed was pretty slow. It has been sped up, but it does slow down from time to time. If anybody has anything else to interject with problem-wise that I'm forgetting about the Gauntlet ROM, please let me know. But those are my memories on it. It never really did truly get resolved. They even shot a video and had that one guy, I can't remember his name, who I don't even think is in charge of marketing for them anymore. Harold Chiswick, I haven't seen him in forever. He did some hand gestures sporadically. Guys, the Gauntlet game is the glitch. We fixed it. No, you didn't. But that's just the state of the machine. I mean, I don't know if you buy it today, if it's been fixed or it's a newer model or whatever. But let's go into what I got from them and, you know, the quality of it. But, well, they did give me the art overlay. They did give me the plexiglass. But the plexiglass, I never even told them. I really wanted to, but I got burnt out from time to time just emailing these guys. I mean, maybe one day I'll edit like all the emails, show you just how many went out, phone calls. They're all saved, pictures, videos, phone calls, emails. It's astronomical. So the overlay, I don't know if you can see it. You see the wave there? Woo! It doesn't seat. It hangs up right here. It's raised up here. It wasn't cut properly. So it doesn't fully sit. You can see I can wiggle my little joust bobblehead there because the overlay doesn't sit properly here at flat. I never told him. I really didn't want to deal with it. I mean, it's not horrible, but you can see the artwork's a little, you can see it's a little wavy because it's not, see I flattened it? It's not fully flat, but I kind of gave up. It's fine. It's protected. Some people will be like, oh, you're crying. Like, crying? I'm not crying. I'm just letting you know and be aware for yourself in case you come across that problem and you need to tell them. So that's the state of the machine. Like I said, they sent me the artwork. They sent me the plexiglass. And they did send me another monitor. So I do have an extra monitor for this one. And it's because my monitor had scratches here. And the bezel had some artwork taken out of it. Like some scuffs and stuff. And it was washed out a bit. And they rectified it, in my opinion. I'm happy with it. So I'm happy with the machine. But those are the minor problems. We'll move up around the shelving here that we got. We got some Build-A-Figures, Marvel, some Mortal Kombat stuff I got to get set up just right. Street Fighter, more Mortal Kombat. The only, what are these, Mighty Mugs? I got that from like a secondhand shop when I went out of town last year. Red Skull, I had to pick it up. We got the Game Over light. I believe that's from Paladone. I really like that thing. Some Transformer stuff. And gotta have Kevin Nash right. I got Scott Hall, I just haven't opened him up. So don't worry. He's gonna be there. To all you wrestling people out there. So we'll move down right here where I have this machine in the middle of the room. This is my pie machine, my pie build. It was the second machine I bought. And once again, I had to go out of town to get it because nobody had it. And they didn't get it for like a month after I picked this up out of town. This was a 2.5 hour drive there, 2.5 hour drive back. And once again, it was storming like crazy. My girlfriend went with me. And we had to literally pull over on the side of the road near like a cornfield. It was kind of creepy. We couldn't see. It was like gray outside. I was like, great. You know, Arcade 1-Up's a damn curse. Like, come out here to get these things and, you know, a tornado wants to come and throw it away. So maybe that was a sign to begin with that I didn't heed. That's just a dehumidifier, by the way. So I decked it out a bit. I put the yellow trim on it, and right there you can see it's kind of coming up because I pulled it too tight. So I'm going to rip that tape off and replace it. And it happened over here too, so I got to get some more yellow electrical tape and put that on there. I put some yellow trim on it. I added some select or start buttons down there. I modded the control deck here. I got some different toppers, which I don't really like the ball ones, so I'm going to replace those. But once again, a project I bought off of eBay, and they never sent me the LEDs. Everything else is there. No LEDs. The buttons don't light up and they're supposed to. And they're not going to send me anything because they're from China and they don't give a shit. I got some WrestleFest running on here because we all know WrestleFest rules. And I'm a big wrestling fan, so it's got to be running. But that's the Street Fighter 2 edition. It's just a pie build. Anybody can do it. Check out ETA Prime's channel on YouTube for more information. He's the man when it comes to that stuff. As far as the machine goes, not a ton of damage. I do have a second monitor bezel and a PCB board for this as well, because the monitor had scratches, pretty rough amount of scratches up here in the corner. Arcade 1-Up saw that in the pictures, saw no problem sending me a new monitor and bezel. So once again, I got backups for all my machines so far, so good value. They sent me the artwork, which had a little bit of scratches on it, just a little bit. So I put the artwork over it and the plexiglass overlay. And I believe that's it for the machine. My thoughts on it: I like it. I had a lot of fun with it as just a Street Fighter machine. I'm probably going to get some custom overlays for it to cover up all of the Street Fighter stuff and the sides as well. We're going to get like, I'm going to end up ordering some sort of MAME mashup artwork that I like to cover that up, because I don't want it in this state. I'm okay with it, but I actually kind of plan on buying another Street Fighter machine and leaving it as just that, because I do appreciate the machines for what they are, but I did want to build a pie there. Moving along, we'll move this way, and we'll go to the Galaga machine. Here you can see I put the orange trim on it as well. It's on an old school riser, which they have themed risers for, which we all know is whatever, it's cool, but it sucks if you bought these in a sense. But I'm not upgrading unless they're on sale. So we got Galaga in the corner here. Love this machine. I put some orange electrical tape around it. I think it really helps it pop out. We'll get into a little bit of the problems here real quick. I'm trying to make this quick. We're 15 minutes in already. So my monitor is washed out pretty bad. You can see as I move. The viewing angle is pretty rough. And it looks a lot worse than this in person. But you can see how, and I got some glare going on here. It just washes out into white. So I have my girlfriend, she comes, she stands next to me, she watches, and she's like, it's looking really, really white and washed out. I noticed it right away too. I'm not too happy, you know, but it's still playable. So I contacted Arcade 1UP about it. And this machine here, they just straight up sent me emails telling me they don't see a problem with it. That's supposed to be like that. That's the quality of the monitor that I purchased is what they told me. Which is really messed up thing to kind of say. They ignored me. I didn't do anything hostile. I didn't say anything bad. I just tried to plead my case a little bit and say, hey, look, you know, I bought several of your machines. I'm happy with them, but you know, this thing's washed out. I don't really think this monitor has longevity on it. I think that it warrants a replacement. I'm within my, you know, 60, 90 days or something. So could you please replace it? And, you know, basically it was no, too bad. So they went dark on me. I emailed them probably 3 or 4 times. I'd say a week, like every other week and a half. It was just met with nothing. Long story short, over here sits a Galaga monitor. That one says, yep, that's the Galaga one. That took them, I just got that last week. I bought that Galaga machine, what? Was it last year it came out? It took them almost a whole year. They sent me messages finally about two months ago saying that they were internally investigating it. And it took 2 months. I kept asking them like at least once every other day, what does an internal investigation mean to me? I mean, you have my emails, you have my pictures, you have my videos. Would you like them again? You can see I had a problem. They didn't say anything. And then one day they just sent out an order, and here it is. I haven't hooked it up. I haven't messed with it. My plans are, I guess, I'm going to burn this one out. And if it burns out, I can replace it. But I'm just going to run it until it goes. I don't know how long that's going to be, but got a backup monitor and bezel for this and a new PCB board. I don't know if it fixes the glitch on Galaxia where the ship tip is a different color, and apparently it can reset or freeze. I'm not too sure about the problems with that, but we'll see in good time. But once again, I'm just going to be fine with it. It is what it is, I guess, for now. I got a replacement. That's all I wanted. So thank you, Arcade 1UP, for finally doing that. I got a replacement artwork and overlay for this, and other than the washed out monitor, great machine. We're going to try to speed this up a little bit. Space Invaders is another one that they kind of denied me help with. I have no qualms about this whatsoever. The machine came in gorgeous shape. I love it. We got it back in March of this year. Once again, I don't know if you can get a good look at that. I got a pretty bad glare from the laundry room, but it's washed out pretty bad. Another vertical screen that's washed out. And it took them forever to replace it, but they did. We won't go into a long-winded explanation, but it's sitting back there. I will tell you those monitors do not say, I believe it's BOE, that Cool Toy was telling everybody that they went with a new LCD company. So they kind of knew that their LCD sucked if they had to fire their old company and get a better one. Pretty much tells you right there, guys, that a lot of people had problems with these. So they sent me the artwork, graphic overlay, everything's fine. I got a replacement for that as well. That is not on a riser. Maybe it will be one day. Okay, we're pushing 20 minutes. We'll move into the Mortal Kombat machine. I got nothing to say. This one was pretty damn perfect. The monitor's great. Artwork, everything. I don't see any problems with it. Came with the overlay already. The buttons and bat sticks are great. The buttons are definitely upgraded. I don't know, say, you know, huge upgrade, but they're definitely upgraded from what they were, and I'm very happy with that machine. So, thanks, guys. Pac-Man. Alright, we're going to end this video on Pac-Man. So, Pac-Man, very excited to get. Had quite a few problems with it. Well, I don't have it on, and we're going to see if maybe it does it for us in real time. Tends to do this. Nope, it didn't do it this time. Well, I'd say 50% of the time when I go to turn that on, it's just like blue screen or a black screen, doesn't boot up. They did not want to hear it. I sent them 3 videos until they finally decided, oh yeah, you know what, that's not right. They actually told me it needed to warm up like a car. Well, we'll just let it warm up like a car and it'll come back to life. It's like, no. I have how many machines from you guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? And probably going to have like 3 more there in the future. Of course, when they're on sale, because I don't really feel like I should be giving them their full amount that they're asking for, unless somebody or clarifies that, you know, they've been fixed, like hardcore fixed, and they're a lot better. So, anyways, I got a backup monitor for that as well. So all is well in the animal kingdom for Pac-Man. But those are just some. Oh, they sent me the artwork and plexiglass for that. But those are just the problems I had with Arcade 1-Up, and the reason why I kind of lost a little bit of, not in interest, but kind of killed the vibe. The arcade room was put on hiatus for a little bit, not because I wasn't going to continue it, and not because I gave up on Arcade 1-Up. I didn't. I figured things would get better. We'll shoot another video in the future talking about their changes and with the LCD companies and the bundles that you guys can get now, which I think is pretty cool, but at the same time, and a lot of people agree with me, it seems like a slap in the face to early adapters. I know how tech works. I know that they upgrade it. I know that they give cheaper bundles and better stuff later, but come on now. You spend this much, you know, whatever. I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to end the video now. Thanks for paying attention, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stop by Instagram and Twitter at bdeadmoon. That's the letter B followed by the word deadmoon for updates on stuff that comes out, Funko Pops, action figures, stuff like that. Post a lot of stuff on Instagram, mostly on Instagram about that stuff. And I'll keep you guys updated on the arcade room. I really appreciate people asking about it, and really appreciate all the people who subscribe. If you're new to the channel, like, follow, subscribe. And stay tuned for more Arcade 1-Up and video game goodness content. And until next time, guys, take care.